This is KGW News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Drew Carney, and we're starting the newscast this afternoon with President Biden's visit to Idaho today. He landed in Boise about an hour ago. We can take you there right now. Hundreds of people are near the airport there, and many of them are protesting against the president. This is President Biden's first visit to Idaho since he took office. The visit is part of a tour along the West Coast that's focused on areas impacted by wildfires. Today, the president thanked firefighters.
You all are the most incredible people. Now, it's not hyperbole. I started my career with the firefighters as a 29-year-old kid running for the United States Senate, and we've never left one another.
You can look for updates on the president's visit to Idaho today on our website, kgw.com. Next up, we have an update here this afternoon to a story that we first told you about early this morning. We will get to that story. We're moving away from the president's visit to Idaho to let you know about a story that we first shared with you on Sunrise involving someone who was hit by a MAX train in Gresham. This was near Northwest Burnside. We have since found out that the person who was hit has died. Police say this happened around 12:30 a.m. on a fenced-off portion of the MAX tracks where people aren't allowed. They also said the person who was hit was a woman. Police believe she may have been in her late 30s. The operator of the train, meanwhile, was cooperative this morning and showed no signs of impairment. The MAX Blue Line was disrupted earlier because of all this, but the Blue Line is up and running again. Meanwhile, in Washington, the state's new outdoor mask mandate is officially in place today. So everyone, whether you're vaccinated or not, is required to wear a mask at any outdoor event in Washington that has more than 500 people. Washington Governor Jay Inslee says enforcement of the mandate is now in the hands of individual event venues.
Governor, can you talk a bit about how the mask mandate will be enforced?
Well, this is a requirement on entities that have these organizational pursuits. It can be enforced through the labor and industries as we have in all of our other systems.
Washington health officials and Governor Inslee both say they believe there are more people who comply with mask requirements than people who don't. Well, for months now, we've talked about how the pandemic has had a huge impact on U.S. supply chains, impacting countless industries and countless products. And now, with the new school year underway, there's cause for concern in local cafeterias. KGW's Catherine Cook explains.
Breakfast at Powell Valley Elementary in Gresham. For many, it's their first week back in a school cafeteria in a year and a half.
We have faced many challenges getting school opened.
Ben Guyton is Director of Nutrition Services for Gresham Barlow School District. He says one of the biggest challenges they're still facing is a national supply chain issue. It's affecting the food and even the paper products used for the kids' meals. Pre-pandemic, that's 5,000 meals a day in this district alone. There are a lot of kinks in this supply chain. A shortage in truck drivers means deliveries are often late or incomplete. Food processing plants are also short on workers. And since schools were closed last year, many food suppliers have yet to ramp up production to pre-pandemic levels.
We're continually scrambling to say, okay, so what is next? What do we have? Do we have enough of it? Does it count the right way for USD meal pattern?
Despite those challenges, nutrition workers are doing everything they can to make sure kids get healthy meals. That may mean fewer choices and some improvisation.
Adjust from our planned soft taco to doing a burrito or an enchilada instead, or something completely different like a chicken burger. That's what we do.
To help out, the Oregon Department of Education is giving districts temporary waivers on certain nutritional requirements, like the vegetable subgroup requirement. Believe it or not, schools are required to give students a certain amount of a certain color of veggies every week. But right now, that's just not possible.
So we're taking advantage of that waiver.
Guyton says even with all of these unexpected challenges, come mealtime, every one of them is worth it.
They're big smiles behind masks and getting their thumbs up when I walk around the lunchroom.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
All right, this next story is an absolutely positive one about local students. We have a story about high school students in the Portland metro area that are not receiving grant money. Instead, they're helping to distribute grant money, more than $500,000 worth, to dozens of local nonprofits. So this is all part of a program that's been around for 25 years called CommuniCare. The students develop a network of nonprofits that they can support. In past years, kids would fundraise to come up with this money, but since the pandemic threw a wrench in those efforts this year, they received a donation from the Schnitzer Foundation. Emily Housley is one of the more than 900 high school kids involved in this year's effort.
My favorite part by far of this process is the interview process. When you speak with a representative from all these organizations, talking to them about the difference a $100 care package makes to a family.
Some of the nonprofits that received grants this year from the program include Blanchet House, Lift Urban Portland, the American Red Cross Latino Network, and Portland Homeless Family Solutions. You can find out more about the program at CommuniCare's website. All right, before we get to today's forecast, we do want to take a minute to talk about climate change this afternoon. Some scientists are saying that the climate will warm by at least 1 degree over the next decade, which may not sound like a lot, but just 1 extra degree can have a huge impact, a dangerous impact, on fire season. Our sister station in Denver put together this report to explain.
A warmer atmosphere can hold more water vapor, so if the climate warms by 1 more degree Celsius, it'll be able to hold 4 to 7% more water vapor. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but it does actually kick off a cycle of dangerous impacts. Most of that water vapor will come from the ground, so increased evaporation and transpiration, which is when the water comes out of the earth and the plants. Since 2003, evapotranspiration has increased by 10%. And that means the trees are 10% drier, and that's not even factoring in how fast the snowpack is melting. If the atmosphere warms by 1 more degree, that means the snowpack can melt out 30 days faster. So if the atmosphere is going to take the moisture from the trees, that means a wildfire won't have to. It takes energy to evaporate moisture from the trees, so the energy saved there can be spent by consuming more fuels. That could cause wildfires to burn even hotter and move even faster. Active wildfire years are projected to become 4 times more frequent by the year 2050. That could result in a burn scar area 600 times bigger than it is today, which could lead to more intense flash flooding, as rainfall is expected to become 5 to 10% heavier, all from just 1 more degree of warming.